and you guys can say hello.
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 What was that?
That's a mouthful of coffee.
Whoa. And
fair.
Snipe drowned.
That's how I like to go out.
Hey everybody, welcome to CarpeDM, our lovely Twitch channel where we play some Dungeons and Dragons. It is Saturday, which means that we are playing The Road to Elturel. I'm your Dungeon Master, Sir Jenks, and these are our lovely adventurers. Last time on The Road to Elturel, our Skirnabel group, the group of the part of our team hanging out in the town of Skirnabel, did some murder mystery solving. They got down to brass tacks. They started running around, picking up clues, and then went on a wild goose chase across town in search of Healer Wrist, who they suspected to be the murderer. They came very close to not arriving on time to save the victim, Sir Caleb Moore, who was sent by the High Overseer of Elturel to look into the murders. But they managed to arrive just on time to save him. And he was up and down the entire fight, but you guys managed to pull him out, and Healer Wrist escaped by flying off into the darkening sky. During the fight, some pretty cool things happened. Hattie and Reyna fought their way through some spirit guardians in order to pull Sir Caleb Moore from the room, which Snipe was able to accomplish and get him out of the way. Hattie, after Reyna used the Argent Spider she was given by Lolth to pin Healer Wrist to a wall, Hattie then punched Healer Wrist through a wall using the open hand monk technique, which was beautiful. And Snipe, while moving Sir Caleb Moore out of his office and out of range, was still in range of a flame strike, which Healer Wrist brought down on them. However, they were able to notice and dodge out of the way before actually getting hurt. But Master Healer Palia, who was running around with the group, did his best to save Caleb Moore by throwing himself on top of Caleb Moore. And so we enter into the scene that we were at. Master Healer Palia has stood back up. He has gathered the charred remains of his cleric robes around himself. His red cords of Ilmater are charred and burned on the ground. He has not picked those up. And he has begun shuffling back off to the cloister as the guards and townsfolk who were nearby begin flooding into the guard barracks, having seen the flame strike come down out of the sky and wanting to investigate. Reyna made some attempt in the moment to comfort Master Palia, although Master Palia seemed distant and began to wander off. So Reyna is left outside. Hattie is around back of the offices, standing in front of a giant hole in a wall. And Snipe managed to pull Sir Caleb Moore away behind a half wall. Caleb Moore regained consciousness for long enough to warn you that he believes that Healer Wrist is going after the High Overseer Thavius Krieg before passing out again and returning to unconsciousness. Not dying, stable, but after a very long and arduous battle against death, he is going to be out for a hot minute. And just after that happened, Snipe, you received a message from Kara. And that message, I have to flip back a few pages in my notes to find it again, but
Entire month's worth of work.
We are 76 years old when you receive this message.
84 years.
you receive a message, and Naomi, Kaya, you can correct me if I get any of this wrong if you have it in your notes. I believe what the message was is, we bind your demon and you're bound with it, or you sever the connection and maybe get a new body. And that is the message that Snipe receives.
Love it.
So, Snipe, if you want to send a return message, you can. If you want to take a minute to reconvene with your party, that's also an option. Guards are coming in. People are already approaching you, Reyna, asking for statements about what just happened. Nobody thought to even stop Master Healer Palia as he left. They just kind of like let him walk off because they didn't really understand what the situation was. But people are beginning to crowd in and try to figure out what is going on here.
Addie's gonna climb through the hole in the wall that she made.
Okay.
Hey guys! That was fun! In a kind of scary
her.
way.
What happened? What did you do?
At what point are we talking?
Before she flew off.
Well, I entered the office. It gets a bit blurry. I punched her through a wall. And now we're here.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Rena's gonna turn around to one of the guards and say, Look for Keylethmore and my companion. Look, go find them. Keylethmore needs healing desperately.
All right, of course. And one of the guards, well, there are already guards over with Snipe. Some of them are already checking out Caleb more. Snipe, around you, the guards are debating. They don't know what's going on, so their plan is just to take him to the cloister. They saw that Master Healer Palia was here. They don't know what to make of that, but Caleb Moore looks like he's in a bad way. And they have like a basic healer's kit here, like a first aid kit with band-aids and gauze. But they're gonna take him over to the cloister unless you do anything else. They're gonna put him on a stretcher and take him off.
Yeah, I just step back and let them do that, and I just wander over to where Reyna and Hattie are.
Sure.
I'm just looking
do you
at the
give-
sky as I do that, just like, when's she gonna come down? She's gonna land at some point.
Yeah, you definitely heard the sound of like something slamming into the ground. There was like a little bit of a tremor that went out. But in the darkening sky, it is you don't see anything up in the darkening sky. Do you give any kind of statements to the guards, by the way, about what happened as they load Caleb Moore onto the stretcher? It doesn't have to be like anything. In fact, you don't even have to give a statement, but they're trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. Well, if they ask me directly, I'll just say that the Master Healer would have a better idea of what on earth just happened than Snipe would have. So that's probably all they'd say.
Okay. So like talk to Master Healer. All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then you make your way over to Reyna and Hattie, who's walking through the front door, strutting her stuff in her spectacular new yellow matador costume that only has a little bit of wood chips and dust on it now. And web and cobweb.
Hey, Snipester. You're looking
Hey.
a little bit grey in the face.
Well, yeah, I've been looking like that for a couple of days now.
You've got a little frowny thing going on.
That's just me.
No, it's a little bit more than normal, which is impressive in itself, actually.
Are you doing okay, Snipe?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
I feel like maybe discussing it later, maybe. I need to think about something.
Okay. Do we need to go back to Master Healer? Do we need to check up on him?
Yeah.
So whenever you make your plans here, I'm gonna let you know that because the sky is already darkening, you can make an educated guess that you have enough time to either go meet Ranger Monk's Hood, or you can go check on Master Healer before you have to meet with Artaxis again.
Okay.
Dare I say we split up again? Like, Hattie, you go check on Master Healer, make sure everything's fine. me and Raina, we have to go and meet up with Muxhood.
Okay, I'm gonna go see if she has any more cookies.
Good idea.
Okay, yeah. Take care of him. Make sure he's safe. Master Healer.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Don't get into too much trouble.
No promises.
I don't expect that.
Arthur's gonna go off with Hattie in his little sombrero hat.
Good idea.
Are you gonna make our way to
Boys'
Northfield?
Yeah. That's probably ideal.
Okay. So you all break off in two directions. Now, Snipe, you haven't sent a return message yet, correct?
No. But on the way though to the Northfields, I do tell Raina that I was given Kaya's sending, and tell her like what the gist of the thing was.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So they found a way to basically get your demon back?
Apparently, there's two options. It's more than what I kind of wished for.
What? Bind your demon and bind you with it. Would that mean binding you to an object or something?
Maybe? I'm not sure. Like, I don't know if they can bind demons to people or only bind them to objects. I'm not sure.
Well, if they would bind your demons to you and you would be bound with it, that would be a bit of a weird situation.
I don't know. I don't know if it'll work.
Finding your body, how would that work?
But how would it work? I guess I'd have to roll to see if I know anything about reincarnation or anything. Because reincarnation is not in the sending, so I wouldn't know if it was an option.
Right. I don't know that you would have any idea what that means. Raina, if you want to roll me an Arcana check,
Sure.
you can try to roll an Arcana check.
That's 12.
12. Yeah, Snipe, for sure. You didn't know that getting a new body was an option. Raina, you know that there is magic in the world that would allow a person to get a new body. You don't know exactly, like, it's not clear what Kai is talking about without more specifics. You know that magic exists, but you know that it's usually magic for, like, after a person's already dead. Like usually that magic doesn't work on living people.
Yeah. I'm curious who they found who can do such magics. Because that's pretty powerful stuff.
Must be. Hopefully, they're still stuck in Triel somewhere, so they might have met someone.
Yeah, but who would be willing to help them? Who would do something like that?
Kaya's convincing.
True. Well, it's an odd option to be able to do something like that. It would mean you have to die first.
I don't think that's going to scare me. I mean, I've been living this past couple of weeks knowing that. Being prepared for death.
It's true. I'm just... It might be that we kill you and that it doesn't work. That's my biggest concern.
That's my concern as well. Also, if I die, regardless if I'm able to come back or not, it's cutting the ties between me and that demon half. And considering what our taxes wants, I feel like that's only going to make the situation worse.
Yeah, but if if Bahamut already has his hands on your half, why would it make it easier for him to get their hands on you on the part? Would it?
I don't know, but splitting a bond from a demon and another thing would probably be something significant.
I'm curious if that already happened when you got split in Dragonsburg Castle. So if that already happened over there, then splitting your connection even more shouldn't be something you're worried about.
Maybe. I mean, we don't know until we try it, but it seems kind of a risky try.
It's a very risky one, but it might be our only option.
Maybe we could do both of them?
Splitting you first, and then binding them? Then getting anybody?
Binding the demon to an object first, if it can't bind to me, and then do the second option of killing me, therefore unbinding it from me, and binding it to the object it's already bound to. So at least if bringing myself back in a different body is an option, and we also have the object, then that could kind of work.
If your body is bound to an object, and your demon half is also bound to an object, killing off your body would not unbind you from the object.
No.
It would.
While I love that you're going down this weird logical train, this is going to be a conversation that is going to continue.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. We're walking as we're talking.
Talking.
So, we are going to bounce up to Triel, where our resident warlock Seymour and our bard Kaya have been hanging out for a couple days, chilling with City, the wizard / warlock, whom they helped by rescuing her wife Sybil, who made a kind of pact that wasn't really working out and may have led to the death of a paladin. They managed to rescue both Sybil and the paladin, Sir Marcos, and bring them back to Trio. For this, City was in their debt, and so agreed to help them out with Snipe, offering two solutions. One, she could help bind Snipe's demon, or two, she could try to perform a reincarnation on Snipe, which could sever Snipe's link to the demon and prevent them from suffering from a death curse. Now, you all have been partying your nights away. So, Kaya is currently chilling out, sleeping with a hangover up in her room. But Seymour, you are currently downstairs at the bar. It's early in the morning. The night before was spent in revelry. Kaya brought down the house with some excellent music. You all were hanging out. What are you up to? And does Kaya come downstairs?
Sorry, question. Where are we in the timeline? So how long has it been since Kaya sent the message to Snipe?
Kaya, you sent that message to Snipe. It would have been sometime yesterday.
Okay, so yesterday evening and now it's today morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the morning after the message.
Yeah.
Seymour would be recapping the dance steps that he expertly did last time while he was with Kaya. Even though Kaya was leading the way most of it. So just replicating that on his own. It's very sad, no music, no lights, just downstairs very sadly just doing it on his own. And just practicing. And did you say I've got the book?
Works better with a partner.
Oh.
Do you want me to dance with you? I know the other half.
Oh. Yeah.
I used to teach dance lessons.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, is that why you're so slender? Just easier to move?
Yeah, it's very, you gotta be graceful.
Oh.
I'm nothing if not graceful. He trips and falls as he's making his way around the bar.
Seymour will pick him up. Okay, yeah, sure. I have nothing else to do. Kaya's still hanging out of our asshole. So let's.
Sure. Ready for me. All right. 1, 2,
3.
3. Right. 1, 2, 3.
I tripped him up with
1,
my tail
2.
a tiny bit. Just to fuck with him.
Yeah. He'll roll a dexterity saving throw, and you go ahead and make like a dexterity sleight of hand check for me.
Okay, I already rolled. Do you want me to roll again? Because you.
No, you can. What do you got?
Natural 4.
A natural 4?
Yeah.
He got a 13.
Oh. Yeah.
He steps he steps on your tail as he's going around.
Bollocks.
Like, oop, watch out, there's like a spot in the floor there or something. It's a bit raised.
Yeah.
Kaya's gonna like come down around this time, see this.
Good morning.
Is gonna use to start playing Careless Whisper in the background.
Beautiful. Yeah, and for anyone just joining us, this person talking is Bill. He is the lanky, gangly teen who works at the bar that Kaya and Seymour is staying at. And Careless Whisper begins to play it as they dance around the room.
I haven't heard this song for years. This is lovely, Kaya.
Well, I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
No, not at all. Just passing the time. I got this book.
I'm teaching him how to dance.
Dance.
Dance. I was stuck in there for a minute.
Oh, it's
I'm
okay.
teaching him how to dance.
It's okay. I'm good at that
Great.
kind of thing as well, so that's okay. Kaya, I found a book last night while you were drinking. Somehow I'm not hungover. I was very drunk last night. And he's just going to pass Kaya the book. What is the translation from Draconic into Elvish and vice versa? Right? Is that right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can't read what any of this says.
I'm just learning. Just for
Learning what?
Well, a bit of both actually. Raina has taught me a few words in Elvish, and I heard. You know when we heard of the Cult of the Dragons? We heard about it. It's been mentioned before.
Yeah, that was a while back.
A long time ago. I was just thinking, maybe it might be handy. You know, I don't know if any of us speak Draconic, so.
Always good to know a language.
What language do you know, Bill?
Me?
Yeah. Apart
I
from
know
the language of
Common.
dance. Common. Good.
Useful
cleaning the
language to
bar.
know.
It's the best language to know, I guess.
I know Common. I know how to swear in Dwarvish.
Oh, please.
Oh, you have to teach me sometime.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Can't do it around Miss City though. She always yells at me if I do.
Where is City, Sir Janks?
City. City is
Peaceful.
just walks in the door actually. She's been out this morning. She says yes, and don't let me catch you swearing in the bar, huh? How are you all feeling this morning? Huh? How are you doing? Feeling better? Feeling hungover? I have a cure for that in my shop.
I'm good, thanks.
Are you trying to sell us something in the morning straight away?
Why do you think I have a shop right next to my wife's bar?
That's a good point. That's smart.
Mm,
That's very
I see.
smart.
Yeah, we do plan these things. So, have you gotten a response back from your friends yet?
Nope.
Ping. Oh.
Oh wait.
Well, either way, I think it is best to be prepared for both options, and so I will be conscripting both or one of you to help me with a bit of a shopping list.
Shopping.
Any interest?
Jakes, you can't see this, but Soph did just send the message response into.
It's the case where it's like when we jump back, I'm having to like jump cut the conversation of
That's smart. Yeah.
yeah, Raina and Snipe basically coming to that conclusion. So when we cut back, I'm gonna tell what Snipe's sending message is gonna be.
Okay, sounds good. In that case, City is still going to ask. So, who wants to go for a bit of a shopping trip, eh?
Honestly, I'm all good going shopping.
Sure. Oh, speaking of Seymour, you owe me 25 gold. Because I bought us a horse.
You bought a horse?
Yes.
I would like to see what I'm purchasing first, if that's okay.
Listen, we don't have a lot of cash, so it just had to be the cheapest option, all right?
Okay.
It'll do.
Okay. Spending my money
It's a
without
good
knowing.
horse.
Who said
you
that,
know,
James?
Yeah.
Was that Bill?
Listen,
She's a
you don't
good
need to-
horse. I don't know why you gotta hate on the horse.
You don't need to pay 25 gold, and then you can walk, and I'll ride on the horse.
Okay, sure. Fine. And he won't get you to gold yet. He just agrees that he's going to pay eventually. So yeah, shopping sounds okay to me. I'm okay shopping.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to remember who sold you that horse.
Horse's name is Basil. I don't know who sold it to me.
That's fine. It's the ranch in town, so it's all good. You can always trust those horses. They are always good. Well then, let us get to it then, eh? We have a few stops to make on the way.
Yes.
And she'll just start walking out the door. Whoever wants to come along.
Seymour will turn to Kai and go, didn't Raina spend a lot more money on a horse? 25? Okay. Huh.
We're splitting it 50 gold. It's not a very fancy horse, but
Did
it'll do.
Raina get swindled?
Probably.
Oh, okay. Well,
She's rich. Who cares?
exactly. Who cares? There we go.
Money drain. Yeah. So you guys can head out for the day with City. We are going to jump from there back to. We're gonna see what Hattie is up to right now. Hattie,
Confidence face.
hey, what's up?
Hi, this is my confident face.
Excellent. I'm glad that you have such confidence.
I mean, if you were me, would you have confidence in yourself?
Well, I mean, I think that Hattie is kicking it in the confidence department with her new yellow clothes.
Hattie is. I am not Hattie.
Well, regardless, Hattie is making her way through the streets over to the cloister. Now, are you going to the cloister the way that you went to the guard barracks?
Sure. I mean, she's going to go the way that she knows.
Okay, yeah, of course. So that's going to take you back past the cafe, where a familiar voice is going to say, "Hey there, sweetheart.
Hi.
You managed. Hey.
Hey.
How are you doing? You in the little yellow britches. Of course, I
Thank you.
recognize you. Alice Garbanzo recognizes everybody on the street.
Yeah.
How are you?"
Did you,
As you pass by, you see that she's still sitting at her little cafe table behind the little wall, like a little hedge wall. She has her cup of coffee in front of her, her unread newspaper. Now there's like a chicken sitting beside her on the table, inexplicably, just there. She's still wrapped up in her shawls. Just the picture of a little old lady.
the chicken?
Lucas,
Friend or foe?
what about him?
Can I pet him?
Oh, you can try, sweetheart.
Hattie's gonna pick up the stoat. Hey, Arthur. This is a friend. She's just gonna kind of like grasp, like, you know how you do with, like, I'm just trying to think of something that you like, you know, with when people carry birds, they like.
You've
put,
got a
like,
sloth right there. Like, you can...
My hands aren't big enough, just like kind of like that.
You're just gonna hold it Arthur like that?
By
Yeah.
the scruff of his neck.
And just
Okay.
kind of, so like there's no chance of like scrabbling or grabbing. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
kind of nose to beak.
Roll me an animal.
Oh, thank God. I was so
Okay.
glad you said that, Jenks.
Adjust the fedora so he can see.
Yeah, roll me an animal handling check.
Hips fedora for him.
I can't believe you actually just, like, method acted it out with your sloth.
Well, I rolled a 10. However, apparently Hattie is incredible with animals because she has a +6. So 16. I don't know when she
She
became
has proficiency
proficient in animal handling.
She has
Just
proficiency
blessed
in
it.
animal handle. Oh, Jesus. That's
I don't-
cool.
I love the idea that Hattie has like a pet, like a set of trained ravens back home at Candlekeep. That she's just like, yes, I send birds everywhere.
They are my minions.
Arthur gives Lucas the sniff test, you know.
Friend. Brings him up to my face. Friend.
He'll give you the sniff.
Give
then
a sniff back.
yeah, he'll give a sniff back. I mean, he can't do much more because you literally have him in a way that he can't move most of his body.
Yeah.
But Lucas doesn't like try to peck out Arthur's eyes or anything, so that's good.
Wonderful. That was just the basic aim. Okay, I'm gonna.
I mean,
put down
Lucas the
that-
chicken was cool with what? Was cool with you putting a stoat in his.
Okay, yeah. Arthur, I'm gonna put you down. Friend, not foe, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Puts Arthur down. Kind of pets the chicken on the head. Harry doesn't know how to pet a chicken. Just like bop
Sure.
his head.
Like bop the chicken's head.
Supposed to go down the neck, down the back. I had pet chickens. Just to say.
Bop, 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 bop.
Bop, bop, bop. There's a little ruffle of feathers. And then Arthur kind of bounces around a little. The chicken kind of like pecks a little at the little baubles on the hat. But yeah, they seem to be getting on fine. And then the chicken just sort of preens and then like settles back down. Sitting on top of, there's like a nest of shaws that have been made that it just kind of like settles back down into.
Wonderful.
And then Arthur just like lays down next to it.
Okay, I remembered there's somewhere I need to be. I like your chicken though. This has been great. I will
This has been great.
Bye, Alice.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Turns around and leaves.
Bye, dear. Just stop by anytime. I love to hang out with you
Arthur,
again.
catch up. Hurry up.
All right. Yeah, Arthur will hop back down and go running down the road after you. And you will arrive at the cloister of the No, it was a beautiful little silly
That was a
interlude.
lovely
I loved
sweet
it.
moment.
I just like
No, dude,
had
that's
a
great.
This is why it took us over a month to get through a day.
This explains it all.
So you make it to the cloister. You pass by the statues, the heavily scarred warrior, the crying young man, and the middle-aged balding man who's like hunched and covered in ropes. And you get to the entrance. You can look in through to the main courtyard. You don't see Master Palia in here, but you do see Ardius standing in the courtyard with a woman who imagine the kind of lady who would ride up on a motorcycle wearing like all leather riding gear with like a cool brown jacket and like cool pants and motorcycle boots with like the helmet she just pulls off and she's just like, what's up? Listen to me or I'm gonna fuck you up. That kind of a vibe, you know, like that whole deal. Whatever the medieval equivalent is that. There's still a lot of leather involved, but it's like all jerkins. And she's standing with Ardius, and they just appear to be talking. He shakes her hand, and then he goes off to Master Palia's office, and she turns to leave. And starts walking toward the arch where you're standing.
Hey, friend.
Is that directed at Ardius?
No, the lady. Because wait, is it the lady coming?
Yeah. Lady's coming to you. Ardius is walking away from you back
she's
toward
gonna try
the
and stop the lady.
Okay. So you roll up with a hey, friend.
Yep.
Roll me a persuasion check, Hattie.
Oh, fuck. It was nearly a 19. That's a 3.
3. Okay. Yeah, she seems lost in her own thoughts and she just kind of like breezes by you out
Bye,
into the
friend.
street and just keeps on going. But you're free to make your way across the courtyard to Master Pally's office.
Artisan, artifice.
Artius will
Just
turn
like
around.
calling across the. I'll get your name eventually. It's fine. Hey. Hi.
Hey, Hattie.
Hi. I punched someone through a wall.
Okay. That's pretty dope.
Right.
Are you okay? How are Snipe and Raina?
Oh,
I was
yeah.
a little concerned with the message that I got.
Oh, yeah, that message. No, it's all fine.
Yeah, the message that you were hunting down a murderer. Yeah, I was concerned.
Yeah, you know, things happen.
Yeah, no shit. Things happen.
Yeah, turns out like there's like a cult thing going, or like it was like the last wishes of someone. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. I was too busy hyping myself up to punch someone through a wall, and then I was distracted because I had just punched someone through the wall. You know how it is.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I came over here to hopefully catch up with you guys after whatever the fuck you guys were up to.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I caught you.
Yeah.
I just came over here with my friend Sasha.
That's your friend?
Chancellor DeRoth. Yeah, she's an old friend of mine. She runs the Merchants Council here in town. Long story.
Is she like just like an old friend, or is she like an old friend?
Hattie, she is a friend whom I have known for a few years. Okay.
That's boring. It's very pretty.
She is. Look, we were here. Master Palia came through.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say much. He just went into his office. So.
Oh yeah, I'm meant to be looking out for him. Do you want to come with? There's
yeah.
a chicken over there. Did you see the chicken?
What? No, I didn't see a chicken on my way over.
Okay, Alice had a chicken.
Maybe I went. I'm sorry. Who?
Fuck. I don't.
Do you want to
So
go in
many
and talk to
questions.
Master Palia? He's gonna open the door into Master Palia's office.
Okay.
And
Yeah, there's just a chicken back there. Yeah, Sasha looks really pretty.
yeah, she likes to dress up. She's a very competent person. And you guys can head into Master Palia's office. Master Palia, he's you can't have gotten here more than like 15 minutes after he arrived. It looks like he's pretty much he's put on a fresh robe. So he actually has like a robe that's not singed and falling
Clothes.
off his back. Yeah. He has like it almost looks like a loofah sponge, except it looks like it's covered in like a sort of thick green gel, and he appears to be like kind of holding open the back of his robes and just sort of like rubbing it down his back. You recall that you saw him walking away and he had like burns all down his back from the flame strike. And he's just kind of like walking back and forth around his office, not focusing on anything. Maybe even muttering a little to himself, but you can't really hear what he's saying.
Hi, friend. What you doing there?
Oh, hello, welcome.
Okay, so you're in a muddled state of mind. This happens to the best of people. It's fine. Sometimes this happens to Elephant back at Candlekeep. And what we do is I make him a really hot cup of tea with like really boiling water. and then I kind of like shove it in his hands. So like it kind of like, if he does get water on himself, it like burns him a little bit and like wakes him up. And if it doesn't, he's got something really hot in his hand suddenly. So like it burns him and it like wakes him up a little bit. Would you like some tea?
That is a really good idea, Hattie. Ardius will pull out from his bag, he'll pull out a teapot and a mug.
Of course.
And
The
he'll go
absolute
over.
icon that is Artius.
He runs a tea shop.
Yeah,
Of course he has that
yeah.
shit on him. There's like a little stove here in the office, and there's some water chilling out. So he'll start making tea. Doesn't appear that Master Palia has like heard you at all. But Ardius takes up your suggestion and starts making some tea.
Also, I guess like the actual tea might have some benefits as well. But I like to think it's my purposeful handing over of the tea. Hey, Master Healer? Hattie's gonna start pacing with them. But like,
okay.
but like pacing backwards, if you know what I mean. So she's facing like,
Yeah, you're like walking. Yeah, I get you.
It's like scurrying around when he gets and turns on the spot. Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. Roll me like a flat charisma check, Hattie.
Oh, that was wisdom. Ignore that roll. That was. That is a strong natural one.
You're lucky. Roll again.
I am lucky. I always forget I'm lucky.
You're a halfling.
That is 18.
18. He begins to slow down and he focuses on you.
Hi. Did you know Alice has a chicken?
I'm sorry?
Alice from the I think it's like maybe a tea shop. She has a chicken that sits on like scarves.
Oh. Yeah, the old woman who directed us to the guard barracks.
Mm-hmm. She has a chicken now.
Right.
Okay. So here is a seat.
He'll sit down. At this point, like your charisma check was good enough that he'll pretty much go with whatever you direct him to do.
Okay. Okay. Plan of action. Yes. This is what we need.
Okay.
In your own words, tell me what the problem is.
He kind of slumps down into the chair. He takes a deep breath. And he just looks so tired. Ardius walks over with the tea, hands it to you so that you can hand it to him. And he'll take the tea. The killer was Healer Wrist.
Mm-hmm.
I was-
Patty's gonna sit down and just start taking notes, by the way.
Okay. I was so adamant that the killer couldn't have been from the cloister. We heal people. What could have possessed her to do this? She's worked here for years. She's helped so much. She's been a reliable helper, and she's been a leader here at the cloister. I don't understand what happened. How could it have happened?
Well, you know, people change.
But I didn't see it. How could I have not seen it?
It's
She was working in all the fields where the deaths happened.
sometimes we want something to be true so much that we keep telling ourselves things that maybe they're lies, or maybe you're just blinded, and the more you tell yourself the thing, so in this case that it couldn't have been someone from the cloister, the more you become adamant about it. It's like, you know, I pretend I'm not lactose intolerant. I'm still lactose intolerant. You know? And even before I didn't know that I was lactose intolerant, I still knew that if I ate lots of cheese, I wouldn't feel so good. But I kept eating lots of cheese because I didn't want to admit to myself that cheese was bad for me. That maybe cheese was the problem. But sometimes cheese is the problem.
I would like you to roll me a charisma persuasion check, Hattie.
I would like meat. I just like
My
IRL.
God,
Roll me a cheese check.
What am I talking about?
you are
Dude, it's
cheesing it,
beautiful.
as they say.
I love it.
This is what happens when you get
The
someone
moment you went
who's-
cheese, I was like, oh.
Cheese. That is a
Lovely.
17.
I love whatever this metaphor is.
The amount of times I've said cheese has reduced 1 from my previous 80.
Okay, that was a perception check you rolled.
Oh. Look, they both start with a P.
Yeah, they're in the same. They're almost the same. I'm sorry.
The 2. I suppose.
Hey, that was like a bad example. I can see it in your eyes that was a bad example. But the point being is that you see no fault in the people around you, which is a good thing, because it means you can see that anyone could be a part of the cloister if they really wanted to be. However, sometimes external factors are stronger than your internal strength.
Did you
Sorry.
did you catch her?
I mean, what goes up must come down.
Apparently.
Okay, hold on. He's gonna roll an insight check to figure out how the fuck he's supposed to interpret that.
Just eventually,
what I love
whatever
is
comes up
when-
must come down.
What I love is how whatever the hell I'm doing right now. I'm slightly ill right now, by the way. I'm not feeling right. This is why this is happening.
Good.
I just love that I made you laugh at how much you're like, what? This?
This is comfort? Question mark.
What kind of metaphor?
Okay, he's gonna set down the tea and just put his head in his hands. What can I do? What can be done? What is she going to do? What am I to do now, Hattie?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I am out of my depth. At Candlekeep, people just tell me to go and get things, and I get them. So if you need anything, I am your monk. However, this seems like a big person thing. You know, I don't mean like in size. I know what you're thinking. It's fine. It's fine. I mean big person problem, like someone who has like self-control and an understanding that their actions have consequences.
Hattie, maybe it would be best if we leave Master Pelia to collect his thoughts for the time being.
I will just say this one thing. It just left my brain. Give me a hot second.
Okay, while you're trying to remember that,
Okay.
Artius is going to turn to Master Palia. I'm going to leave you with this tea. It is has some eucalyptus in it, some mint. It's a calming tea. I'm going to leave you with a full jar, no charge. And we are staying at the Bloody Oak. So if you'd like to contact us, you can send a message there and we'd be happy to come back and talk to you more. I think it's not your fault, Master Palia.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
Healer Risk's actions were her own. She took great pains to hide her actions from you. Honestly, you helped save a man's life. Would you agree, Hattie?
Yeah.
That's something.
A few things, Master Healer. Was Risk the only person? You don't have to answer this now, but was Risk the only person who heard the last thing? What's the word I'm looking for?
The last confession.
Last confession. Was Risk the only person? Did Risk have any like major friends? And how do you stop this from happening again? I'm gonna leave you with the tea now. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Yeah, Master Palia is just going to sip on his tea.
I'm just gonna turn to
That's it.
Artius as just as like we're like leaving the brain like, whew, I am not set up for this kind of stuff, man. Whew. Thanks for that. I totally missed the whole guilt thing. That was glaringly obvious now you mention it. Yeah, that's my bad.
Well, you live and you learn, Hattie. All right. So now we go back over to the North Field. And you all arrive at the North Field. What is the end of the conversation going on between Snipe and Reyna?
It'd probably be Snipe just sitting, trying to word the sending message to Kaya properly with the help of Reyna.
Okay, so our taxes is not the right deal. Let's if what Kaya sent to you, if that sounds like the best option, tell her that you want to go with that option. Ask if should we go to the trio maybe?
I mean, I highly doubt they're gonna come to us.
Yeah.
They seem to be stuck there for quite a while. Okay, so how about and this is the sending message. Rather large options. Dying and breaking ties would be best. It's risky, Artaxis is after the demon. Do you need us in Triel?
Okay.
This is something.
Sure. Okay, so Kai is going to get that message presently. But for the time being, after you send that message, what are you guys going to do? Are you going to wander around and try to find... So you guys just said Northfield. You didn't specifically say the place to meet in Northfield.
No.
So if you guys are going to go look for Ranger Monk's Hood, I would like you both to roll perception checks.
Okay.
Oh Lord, my rolls are shit already.
That's not too bad.
12.
24.
Fucking hell, nice night.
Oh.
Yeah, Snipe, after you send the message, you all start to wander through North Green looking for Ranger Monk's Head. So this is pretty much the same as what you guys encountered in South Green. It is a lot of caravans who have set up for the night. It's getting to be evening now, so a lot of campfires. And, you know, it's starting to get dark, which means it's a little hard to see. But Snipe, you are able to spot Ranger Monk's Hood, who stands out a bit just because she's still dressed in her forest greens and in a caravan of brightly colored, cloths and things. She stands out a bit. And she's just sort of standing at sort of crossroads and paths near the edge of the green. So not too far in, you're able to find her. And she's wearing pretty much the same thing she was wearing yesterday. She has a bow slung over her shoulder with a quiver hanging off her belt. And whenever she spots you, she gives a wave and directs you over. Good evening.
Good evening. Shall we find a more private place?
Yes, if you wish. I was thinking that perhaps it would be best for us to walk the aisles. Nothing quite as private as being lost in a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
How much time do you have to speak?
I have maybe until the meeting. I can never be 100% sure. Our Taxis has been locked in his room all day. So usually I get a sense if he's trying to keep an eye on things. I don't sense anything right now. So for the time being, I think we'll be okay if we just want to take a walk. I think he trusts me to get back.
He didn't question you as to why you had to leave him?
He didn't ask. I just left my room and left.
Can I make a quick look as best as I can with kind of an Arcana check to see if I sense anything on her that's similar to how I sensed with the cloak pin, to feel like if anything was slipped on her?
Sure. Yeah, you can make an Arcana check.
Can I look around in the crowd if I see anyone staring at us?
Sure. Make an insight check, Raina.
Nice. 19.
19. Yeah, you don't. I mean, she has the vibe of a ranger of the forest, but you don't sense that inherent wrongness that you felt whenever you were holding the cloak pen.
Okay.
Anywhere on her. How did you do on your insight check, Raina?
15.
15. As you look around, you see a couple of side glances just because Ranger Monk's Hood, she's dressed pretty differently from most people. So most people are wearing traveler's clothes. There are a few mercenaries wearing armor and things, but she's wearing she's wearing clothes that are meant to help you disappear into a forest, which look out of place here. But nothing, no lingering looks or a person standing in the middle of a crowd just staring at you through the crowd oh, that's messed up. You don't get any of that in the crowd.
Have you been with him since the forest?
Since shortly after the forest, and Monkshood will start walking as we start talking. Not too long after you all left, I was officially charged with exile. And as I was leaving, I encountered Lord Artaxis also leaving the forest. And to make a long story short, I was convinced to come along with. He wasn't happy about the ghost dragon escapades. I suppose it put a damper on his courtship of Warden Lorelei. All things considered, though, it's probably for the best. I would hate for that to have continued and him to have any sort of sway in the Misty Forest.
Had he any interest in the dragon cult? Because he was there for Lorelei.
He was there for Lorelei, but I don't know. He seemed more mad about it than anything, but I don't know if that's because we ruined some scheme that he had in place, or if he was just legitimately mad that we, put a damper on his wooing. I don't know. It's hard to figure him out.
Yeah.
He seems really honest up front, but I don't know. He's got something going on below the surface.
Hidden agenda.
Maybe, I don't know if it's hidden though. It's like,
I think his agenda is pretty wide open, but like there's a second layer to it. He tells what will come out of it most likely, but feels like there's something more to it.
yes, exactly. He acts like a fox. You know that he is a predator, but he's a tricky kind.
Yeah. It might be a weird question, but did he discuss any plans with you? Or are you just going along with him?
I don't know, honestly. For now, I've just been going along with him. He says that he'll dismiss me at some point, although I don't know exactly what that entails.
He must have told you something, because he threatened your home.
That
Why
wasn't
did
what
you
he
do that?
told me. That is what he showed me.
Showed you? What did he do?
She kind of takes a glance around. See, this is the problem. I don't know if he wants me to tell you or not. He blighted a tree. I watched him do it. He put a hand to the roots, and it was this huge, beautiful pine that just, it was like, imagine watching a fire without flames.
Turn to ash, like just a touch.
Just fell to pieces, right to the floor. He threatened to do that to the entire forest.
I understand
And
the choice.
well, it's a choice that almost anyone, I think, with any sort of dedication to the force would have made. I don't remember if we told you at the time, but leader of the Druid Circle. She was down in the southern forest where I came from. She was looking into a blight, and I was going to go help her with it. But seeing what I saw, I have to wonder if our taxes isn't the cause of it to begin with. I don't know. I don't know if he actually has the power to do it or not, but for now, I'm going with it.
Does he meet it with anyone else? Has he met anyone else alongside us? Or besides us?
He had his retinue that traveled with him, that group of elves. Mm-hmm. Although I don't think that they're actually elves. I don't know what they are. Most of them left whenever we got to the edge of the forest. They, I don't know, scattered. Some of them went back into the forest, but some of them just sort of took off the road. One of them came with us, though, and we rode down the coast road. Here's what I know. I know that originally he was headed for Baldur's Gate. I don't know why, but whenever we parted company with the last of his retinue, he sent them ahead to Baldur's Gate for a reason that I don't know. And the reason that we didn't end up going to Baldur's Gate is that he has been idly keeping an eye on you since the forest. I saw him do it once or twice. He just, he has a bowl decorated with all sorts of, I don't know, runes or symbols or something, I don't know. But he just fills it up with water and he can see other places. It's like a scry. I've seen the leader of the Druid Circle do something like it before, but I don't know if he can do it on his own or if he has to have the bowl to do it. I'm not sure. Regardless, he's been keeping an eye on you. I remember him commenting something about a fight at the crossroads. Look, I know this is going to sound like an insult, but honestly, I think it works for your benefit. He thinks that you all are a joke. Whenever he scryed on you, the times that I saw him do it, he would make these comments, you know, like it's funny that the monk who won't face her past insists on everybody being honest with her, or it's funny that the highborn elven cleric would fall from such heights, or that the rogue who spent 10 years trying not to connect with the world in which they found themselves would have gotten home much sooner had they just tried to learn something about the place that they found themselves in. Just a lot of snide comments about you all as a group.
Me and Kai are fine, right? Yeah, we're good.
No, he had shit to say about you all too, but you guys aren't there.
I want to hear it all. The roast is so good. Just the frustrations of a DM coming out.
Yeah. No, she can say the other things too. He said something about the warlock who can't help but dig himself deeper into a pit. And the bard who cares so deeply that she pretends that everything is disposable to be okay. Look, the reason that I tell you guys this is
he made you that offer last night. He did it because he thinks that this is a fun game. And we came to Skirnabel. He brought us here with magic so that he could just sit and wait for you to come to him. It was the day that something happened and you were separated from a part of yourself. He saw it in the scry and he was excited. We came to Skirnabel and he locked himself in his room for a few days and I didn't see him. And then he came back out with this whole thing. And he said that it would be too easy if he didn't introduce a challenge for himself. He underestimates you all. But I think that that's to his detriment. You all saved my enclave from a ghost dragon. When you all work together and exercise the best of your ability, I think that you all can tackle a lot. And I think that he doesn't give you enough credit. But it's probably for the best if he continues to think that he can outmatch you easily.
Certainly is a fox.
There was a story that we told in the forest. I thought about it after a few days of traveling with him. It's the story of this fey creature, one of the elders, called Renard. And he was this being who would take the form of a fox. And he would talk his way out of almost anything. He talked his way into eating a rooster, and he talked his way into eating a rabbit, and he talked his way into skinning a bear. But at the end of the story, the way that it goes, he still ended up furless and humiliated because he underestimated his opponent. Artaxis is a talker. I saw him do it once. Whenever we stopped at the Dancing Waters Inn on the coast road, he walked up to the innkeeper and just asked for rooms, and she just handed over keys, no payment. I didn't see him do anything, but I think that he was charming her. He did it later to the bartender and a few of the patrons. Just got them involved in gambling that they kind of got out of their depth in. Made the house band play his favorite choice of music. Nothing overtly evil, but
Just turning to its own head.
I think he may be able to charm people very easily.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to require almost no effort on his part to do. I've seen people use charming magic before. It requires concentration and effort, and he makes it look effortless if that's what he's doing. So be aware of that if you confront him.
I think it's in our best interest to keep him thinking the way he's thinking now. To keep him mocking us.
Hmm.
Show him that we're really as worthless as he thinks we are.
Or he could play his own game back at him. Because if he knows anything about talking his way out of a room with no doors, you could probably see any attempts otherwise. What he's offering is a loss either way. But there's the illusion of a window for us to get the upper hand.
There will be none. It will be an illusion.
Mm-hmm. We can either go along with his idea, trying to cast this kind of illusion that maybe we will find a way out of it, or we can just refuse, in which it means nothing to him, but we still suffer at the end of the day, and all he can just do is wait.
It's a lose-lose. At least, as far as he wants it to be. But I have heard we have a saying back in the forest. I think that there's probably an equivalent for you all, but it says that whenever a pine tree burns, there's always a sapling. It's the idea that whenever something looks immovable or impossible or devastating, there's always something new, a new way for life to continue, even in the most devastating circumstances. And you see that Ranger Monkshood stops for a moment and sort of tenses up a little. And Raina, I want you to make an insight check for me.
It's 24.
24. So what you see in Ranger Monkshood is her ranger senses just like kicked on, like they went into high alert. And as you notice this, you kind of take stock of your surroundings and you understand why she suddenly got this feeling. Because as you look around, you notice that there are no people around you. You were walking through a crowded caravan. Like just people around campfires, people coming in and out of wagons, all this thing. And now there are no people at these campfires, but they're still burning. There are no people walking up and down the roads trying to sell goods to people. You don't see any of the healers. You don't know if they all went inside or into the wagons or what happened, but you now find yourself in an empty caravan city. And you kind of look around and there are no people in front of you, and behind you, you can see like a couple stragglers who appear to be walking off in the opposite direction of you, like walking away from you down the path.
Where did everyone go?
It's him. He's here in the North Green. And that is where we will take our break.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
So-
how's this dress look, Kaya? How's this dress look? Is it okay? Thanks, Kaya. Of course it is. There you go. Good shit, yo.
Oh,
One more night, and then we're finally back on the same.
Yeah.
Yep.
One more.
You guys
time.
are so close. Don't worry, we'll get back to Triel today. I promise.
Yo,
you guys won't
it's,
have
it's
things
fine.
to do.
This
I
has been something to be done.
replied the message. That's important. Okay, it's
Good.
off.
I have a
It's sent.
response too. I just need.
Yes,
We just
It's-
need to sync up. That's all. I got you.
it's been read. It is currently delivering.
What's going on in Scornabush is way more important than what's going on in Triel. So it's
You're
all
learning
good.
to dance. That's important.
That's so important.
Shopping.
For my
getting
enthusiasm.
settled. Yeah, that's
I
important.
got a
Will
natural
you
20.
romance Bill next.
I mean, yeah. He's sort of asking for it now, isn't he? So maybe.
Mm.
We'll see. All right, 10 minutes. Bye.
All right, 10 minutes and then we'll be back.
You good?
Need to
Okay,
think
good to
about
know.
what the fuck is gonna happen now.
We're back.
No.
Oh, no.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Just before our break, we were hanging out with the Skirnabel gang. Hattie was trying to learn some information and also bring some comfort to Master Healer.
Trying
Talia
being the key word there.
Well, you had some backup. You had Ardius there to help you out. And I think between the two of you guys, you managed to sort of at least calm him down a little. And you can definitely try to get some more information out of him later, should you choose. Then Snipe and Reyna got the chance to talk with Ranger Monkshood, who's been traveling with Artaxis. She's been sharing some of the experiences that she's had traveling with him, kind of giving you what little insights she has into his personality and how he goes about things. Before it was realized by Ranger Monkshood and Reyna that everyone in the caravan city that you all were moving through has disappeared. And she thinks that Artaxis is to blame. However, where we were actually going to start after the break is back up in Triel with Kaya and Seymour. And you guys are going out shopping for some stuff with City, who, despite being a very good wizard and / warlock, does not just have every ingredient on hand to cast any spell she wants. So she is going to conscript you guys to help her fetch some of the stuff that you guys will need for stuff. That said, as you all begin to stroll around town, you leave the wagon wheel with City to go for a walk. Kaya, you receive a sending. The sending that you sent out to Snipe. I would repeat it here had I written it down, but I was kind of banking on someone else remembering what was said.
We got it. Okay.
Good.
What was said? Fuck, where did it go? Okay, here it is. Okay. Rather large options. Dying and breaking ties would be best. It's risky. Artaxis is after the demon. Do you need us in trio? And Kaya's gonna immediately cast sending again and send a reply.
Okay.
And she's gonna reply, we could meet halfway and talk more then. Spell reincarnation severs ties. Would we bind the demon afterwards? Who's Artaxis? Why would we want that? Why would he want that?
Okay. All right. Trying to get a bunch of information. All right. So you shoot that message back out. Okay. Do you say anything to Seymour or City? So basically, to set the scene a little bit more, you all are standing in the dirt square of Trio. Our dear friend, who I need to write down names. God bless it.
How dare you, Janks? You remember everything, by the way, so I think you can let yourself off a tiny bit, sir.
I know, it's about the immersion, though. I need to remember people's names. The lovely old lady who lives across from the wagon wheel. She's out in her garden. She's doing her gardening. There's a couple people at the well. It's just a very sort of lazy morning this morning in Trio. And Kai, you stop in the road to receive this sending. What do you do? Or do you just keep walking?
Finally, okay. So Snipe finally got back to us. Took him long enough.
Oh, feels like it's been a month.
It really does, doesn't it? One night can really take such a long time. Anyways.
It's fine. Love you.
It's a little bit confusing. I think what
Sorry, I gotta protect myself from the shade.
I think what
That
Snipe
was so
wants us to do
unnecessary.
here
Fuck us.
is I think Snipe wants us to do the reincarnation option. I'm not sure if they want us to bind the demon at some point as well, but they seemed more adamant about the reincarnation option than the other one. So we'll keep that in mind. They also said something about a guy called Artaxis. Don't know what that's about.
Okay. I mean,
City, do you know someone called Artaxis? Is it a place or a person?
sounds like a place to me.
Artaxis?
Yes.
I do not know a city called Artaxis. I don't know a person called Artaxis either. So I'm afraid I cannot help you either way.
Oh, that's... Maybe we could put some research into it. It seemed important for them to put it in the standing spell, but I just have no idea what it is.
It's like they... that's weird.
Well, my library is by no means extensive, but I can offer what is available. It sounds something very specific, though. My library does not tend to be that specific, but maybe I have something. I don't know.
It feels a bit weird if you had a book with just people's names in it and information about
Well,
that
if
person.
it's a place, maybe we could take a look.
We're meeting with them, so it's definitely not a place.
They didn't say anything about meeting with them. They just said that Artaxis wants the demon, which does sound like it's probably a person.
That's a person. That's a person. At least we can get rid of that one.
If an entire place wants a demon, I would not fuck with that place.
No, I keep very far
I'm just
away from
throwing that out there. If an entire city wants a demon, you let them have the
If a
demon.
person wants a demon, I wouldn't fuck with them either. Unimportant. It's what they sent back. I think Seymour. I think we need to talk to them in person. I told them to meet us halfway, so I think we should ride out today.
Where is halfway?
Which is just right on the main road, and then hopefully meet them halfway. Right?
Is there anything between here and Scornabell? I don't know.
Some farmhouses.
There's
a
only
couple
one main
little
road,
steads.
right?
Yeah, so there's only the tradeway that goes down from Triel to Skernabell.
Sure.
So yeah, they can just meet us halfway on the tradeway.
That makes sense.
That way, if we have to backtrack, at least they'll be closer, and we'll be able to have a proper conversation, because this is taking a lot out of me and is not very productive.
Yes, I'm kind of missing the flow of a conversation. So
Yeah.
yes, that'd be quite nice.
So I think we should ride out first chance we get.
Good morning, Bethel. Hello.
Sorry to be morbid. If we're going reincarnation, who's killing Snipe? Who's taking that?
I would assume Snipe or City if she knows a safe way to do it.
Sorry?
I guess there's no safe way to kill someone, but you know what I mean.
Oh. So I've been looking in my books to see what it is I can find. The safest way, as far as I can tell, is a slightly stronger than normal sleeping draught.
All right, we'll just do that then, right?
Yes, if that is what is preferred. Yes, it is. It's a bit morbid, but it will work.
City, how safe is this? Is there like is it 90% chance of this working out, or is it like 50-50?
Normally, I would be very confident that this would work. The only concern that I have from what you've told me of your friend is that your friend is not of this world. At least that is what I glean from how you discuss them. If they are from somewhere else, I do not... I cannot be 100% sure how they will react. Have you seen how magic works on them? Does it seem to behave... It seems silly to ask, but does it seem like magic behaves in the normal way around them?
Have they been charmed? This is from memory. Have they been charmed before? You know, when it was the issue when Seymour and Kaya were the only ones?
Kaya cast suggestion on Snipe once.
Yeah. And Snipe, I think, was Snipe possessed by a
That's
ghost
what I'm thinking.
somewhere?
Yes.
And also
That's
power
what I'm-
emotions.
So
And the only weird thing about Snipe that I've seen with magic is that one time that like an inky black something was sucked out of them and turned into a minotaur and then disappeared. That was a weird thing. I've never seen magic do that.
I also have this concern as well. If we're having this weird thing with meshing and how you mentioned the fields of the dead, mess with magic, maybe we need to keep away from that first. Like, distance ourselves.
We aren't that close to it anymore, right? I mean, it is weird that it's taking this long.
What I would do is I would preform the reincarnation in my shop. I have my shop lined. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but the symbols along the running board.
Oh, of course I noticed those. Yes.
Of course you did. Yes, those constitute a forbidden spell. It allows me to control the magic better within my shop. So I'm not concerned about the actual spell itself. I am concerned for your friend, and I would be remiss if I did not warn them of a possible danger to their person.
Of course.
Don't
want to get sued.
Yes. Wait, what? No, never mind. No, I have read literature about the reincarnation spell. The personal experiences of people who have undergone it. Sometimes there are dreams or visions that accompany it. Nothing that I think would truly affect the spell, although I cannot be sure, because I cannot question anyone who did not survive a reincarnation. So I cannot say if the visions had a poor effect or not. It just seemed like a journey.
You specialize in summoning magic, right? So
generally, yes.
I know that like this is a really strange situation for you, but like if you had to create a hypothesis about what would happen with the demon that has already technically been disconnected from Snipe, but might still be connected enough to trap Snipe if it were bound to something, what would happen to that connection, that theoretical connection, if Snipe were to die and be reincarnated? It would sever, and then the demon would it be more free than it already is? Or could it be more free than it already is?
My understanding, based on what you have told me, is that the demon connected with your friend Snipe to keep them alive. That was my understanding, which means that once they are in a body that no longer needs to be kept alive, I think that it will sever the connection.
It's like there's a deal. It's like a loophole.
Yes, if you like. It is hard to say without truly knowing what their relationship is, but as far as what it will do to the demon, I assume that it will. The demon will resume whatever state that it was in before the connection was made. That is my best guess.
Could we bind the demon after that connection has been severed without hurting Snipe?
I suspect that we may be able to bind the demon after it is disconnected with your friend. The concern that I have with that is you say that you think you know the demon's name.
Yes.
Names in summoning, one of the things that you learn about true names is that they can be changed. They are not as permanent as people would think. Great life events can have an effect on your name.
Right, I see what you're saying. So you're saying if we keep it connected to Snipe, then it'll be much easier to bind it because we know its name. And if we disconnect it from Snipe, we might not know its name anymore.
And we don't know who we're summoning.
It might change. Yes, it might change the name. I cannot be sure. The literature on these things, I do not use true names often in my summoning because they can be very finicky in that way. And the literature on it is not clear what would constitute a change of a true name. And honestly, it is difficult to tell because sometimes you can only call a true name in the moment that you need it. It's difficult to explain, but simpler to do than it is to explain. Yes?
Of course. That's what we
I
do.
get what you're saying.
That's what me and Kaya do after all.
On that note, City, I think that we'll help you finish up shopping, but then I think we should be on our way. We'll probably be back in a day or two, but we should be on our way.
Right. And you find yourself standing outside the blacksmith. You've just had this conversation on the way. And City will lead the way in and she'll say, well, if you would like to attempt both, I will, of course, be sure to get the ingredients for both. Thurston, if you could, do you have any of the powdered iron? Have you been? Do you have any in the kiln? And a very large, burly blacksmith fellow, say, City, of course, always got some on the oven for you. And he'll go over to the kiln and he'll open it, and he just takes out like porous, spongy-looking metal, and he just starts like cracking it with a hammer, and he just like sweeps it into a bag. He's like, anytime, always my best customer. Thurston, you are too kind. And she puts a gold down on the table. Powdered iron. You will need it for a magic circle. And she'll put it in her bag. One thing, if you all are going to head down to see your friends, perhaps try to get in contact with them first, if it is possible. I know that it is rare, but to do a reincarnation, I will need some rare oils and herbs. They are much more likely to find them in Scornabel, where there are a lot of traders, than me trying to make them from scratch here.
Had to warm that sending spell again, Kaya.
You couldn't have told me that like 10 minutes. All right.
I did not know which option your friend would choose.
It's okay. It's fine.
It's just another 3rd level spell.
No, it's fair. I understand. It is taxing, and I apologize. But I think that if it is the option that they wish to go with, it will be much easier for them to get a hold of it.
It's a worthy investment. They'll be fine, I'm sure. And Raina can afford it, I'm sure.
Can you tell me exactly which herbs and stuff I need to purchase?
Of course. She'll make you a list.
Grocery list.
How many words is the list?
She knows the limitations of ascending, so she'll limit it to like 10.
10.
Sure.
Okay, 1, 2. Okay. Seymour, is there anything you want to ask our friends in Scornabel?
Honestly, here's my concern. Me and Kaya go meet our friends. You've just gone against a giant cult.
Yes.
How can you guarantee your own safety while we're away?
She can handle herself. She's more competent than both of us put together, Seymour. What are we going to do?
Well, you know, if we're betting on this reincarnation spell, and not trying to be mean or anything, but what if you kick the bucket, we come back up, and oh no, you're dead, and Seymour's fucked. Snipe's fucked, even.
City will reach out, put a hand on your shoulder, Seymour. And she'll say, my wife and I, we will be looking over our shoulders for the rest of our lives. That is something that I have to make peace with. Because I bought a book. I bought it for academic purposes. I left it lying out. My wife attempted something from the book. It was dangerous. She got caught in a situation. You all helped me save her, which I will be forever grateful for you for. But I understand what the cost of that is. We will always be looking over our shoulders. I can only hope that my patron can protect us and that my magic can keep us safe.
I'm curious about, and he's going to sort of look and go, I don't think this is the right place to talk about this, but I'm actually curious about your patron. how it started with you and everything, but time and place, we will. That's not important right now.
Perhaps, perhaps whenever we have more time, whenever you do not have pressing business to get to, I will tell you about the Beastlands and how I first came into contact with him.
Fuck yeah. Can I have a quick look around the shop? What we're in as the iron goes, as we're giving the iron.
Yeah, if you want to take a look around the blacksmith shop, yeah, you guys can still be hanging out there. Are you looking for something in particular, or are you just like checking out the wares?
Any kind of nice shield.
Oh, you can maybe commission the blacksmith to make a shield. It's a farming community, so most of what he has is like farming implements, horseshoe.
Okay, all right.
He wouldn't necessarily like if you asked him, he might not be opposed to making you a shield. But he doesn't just have one on hand in the shop.
I think that's okay. I'm all right. It's okay. I can't get rid of my sword, but I want a fancy shield. But it's okay. No, I'm good. But I can attempt this as we leave. Can I try and slip the 25 gold white owed to Kaya in their pocket, please? Without him noticing.
Sure.
Cool.
Roll me a wisdom perception, Kaya, versus a sleight of hand dexterity.
I think I have like a +5 in that. Hang on. Let me see. And I know your perception isn't that good, right? Sleight of hand.
I rolled all right.
I didn't. I rolled terribly.
I didn't roll that great. It was 15.
9. Shit.
Nope.
You know, you can just give it to me.
Oh well. And he just walks away. Embarrassed.
Suave Seymour.
Suave Seymour, guys.
Do you just like put the gold in your hand first, or do you just like walk away?
I think what happens is like I'm trying
to fall to the floor and just tingle away. Just...
Yeah, and I'm like.
I try to use her mage hand to grab the gold from him while he's trying to pocket it.
Yeah, sure.
He's just walking away. Yeah, he's walking out. Embarrassed.
You just mage hand the gold off of them.
Oh, sleight of hand's not my big thing. I told you, I'm multi-class into rogue just to bump these things up.
You're doing very well.
I'm doing great.
You're doing great.
Okay, we'll go after Seymour. Seymour, you didn't really answer my question. Is there something you want to tell Snipe, Hattie, or Reyna, or Hilra?
Honestly.
Or Ardius? I got 10 words for you.
Is Ardius with them?
Probably. I mean, they were when we left them, right?
No, not really. Just hope they're okay. I mean, you've got this, Kaya. I trust you. I'm honestly along for the ride right now. Don't know why I'm going high pitched with Seymour's voice now, but either way.
I'm going disguise.
I'm turning the bill. Oh no.
Hello, no, I don't have anything to say.
I mean, you do know they teleported back to Waterdeep and then down to Skirnabel, which I feel like it's pretty reasonable to assume that Ardius was responsible for that.
Fair.
We don't even know that they teleported. We're just like, how did you get from A to B?
Oh yeah, I didn't go into details to how we were there.
We don't know that they went to Waterdeep. Okay, then Kaya will sigh heavily and send another sending message and say, before you go, shopping list, then list all 10 of the items. Hope you're okay. Good luck. That's it.
DM.
Okay. Yes.
I don't know if this would be meta or not. And you can say no, obviously. Because we have no idea who Artaxis is.
Yeah.
Is there a way of me being able to talk to Tinebris about it? Because I don't. Here's the thing. Like, for Seymour, it's just a name. So would he have a reason to actually talk to Tinebris about it? I think it's stretching it. I just thought, while the sending's going off, I could try and do something there. So then Seymour feels like he's doing something useful.
Well, Kaya did say that what was in the sending message was Artaxis wants Snipe's demon, which is a weird thing to want.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't hurt to like if you want to ask him, like, hey, do you know any? I mean, you asked City, who just has like no fucking clue. So yeah, I mean, if you want to ask Tinebris or just have a conversation with him, you know.
Hey, Tinny.
Go on the date.
Catch up.
Get
Get some wine. Get some fish. Get a candlelight dinner.
Wait, Tinebris isn't a fish?
Take the dog for a walk.
I thought Tinebris being a steak, honestly.
could stake too.
Yeah, I think Seymour would try and.
Yeah, where's Finibus at right now? Probably hanging out at the stables.
Finibus is with Bill.
It's
Oh, Lord.
They're having a great time.
I don't know if he's big Finn or little Finn. Let's say he's little Finn.
Yeah, he's little Finn in town. Little Finn would be the appropriate thing to be in town.
Could you say he's like stealing some food? Like just finding food like on side bits and just runs away.
Yeah, you guys have made it back to the central square. You can hear Bill's voice coming from over the thing. Get back here with that steak bone. Oh, I mean, you can have it, but I have to give it to you first. You can't just rip it out of my hand. That's so rude.
His Finibus is so much stronger than Bill.
Yeah.
Be dragged behind him.
Oh!
It's like that scene from The Incredibles where Dash is like running off with Violet and Violet's like flagging behind.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Seymour would again, as long as you're okay with it, DM. Yeah, I think you'd go, Tinny, Briss. See what I get away with. And he would be away from people because he's talking. I don't know what he wants to say to other warlock people, but
I mean, you could go around. You can either go back to the stables.
Sure.
Like after Bill goes back inside.
Yeah, sure.
Just be out by the stables, away from people.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna think to myself, Tinibus, you there? I take that as a yes.
What is it, Seymour?
I'm very lost right now with everything that's going on.
Surprise.
I know. And I'm sure you've already heard of our plans and all that kind of thing because you love to know what's going on, but I just want to know something. Our friends are talking to someone who's interested in Snipe's other half, their soul, Artaxis. Any bells, anything. Seymour doesn't know it's a demon, right? No,
Yeah, you have no idea.
Totally fine. That's all good. Just want to make sure I'm guiding my conversation correctly.
Artaxis. Wasn't that the name of that pretty boy elf from the forest? The one that you lost in gambling to.
Is that the one what Snipe spilled something on?
Yes, the one that you behaved like children around.
I was not. I actually didn't say a single thing, actually. I was disguised an elf. And then I realized I don't speak Elvish. So I had to pretend to be a mute. Anyway,
yes, it was incredibly embarrassing.
It was. But started a conversation between me and Raina. Raina teaches me a little bit of Elvish now and then, just to pass the time. I'm getting pretty good.
Seymour.
Sorry. I know pressing matters. But yes, Artaxis.
Yes. Yes, there was something wrong with his retinue. They weren't what they appeared to be. Not demonic, but something else. I don't recall about Artaxis. I don't remember you ever getting close enough for me to get a read on him. But I'm sure he's trouble.
So, him getting Snipe's soul is probably a bad idea.
As a policy, Seymour, I don't enjoy demons running amok. Although, if a demon was contained to a box and put on a shelf and forgotten, I wouldn't be opposed. But no, I don't think that you want him to have it. He seems like a smart sort who would actually do something with it.
Good to know. Okay. That's it, I think. Tenebrous, I will leave you to whatever you're doing. What are you doing right now? Sorry for interrupting whatever you're doing.
I'm reading a book.
Oh, I've been reading a book.
Ah. I've been reading a book called Zedata. It's an interesting introspective journey. What are you reading?
Well, and he's like going to figure the book out and show it to something and see if he can...
You just hold it up to the air.
Yeah.
Ah. This is the dictionary, right? The phrase book?
Yeah, it's the only book he has right now.
Ah. A phrase book. In 2 languages I know you can't read.
Embarrassing, right?
No, Seymour. We are clearly on the same literary level.
I'm going to take that sarcasm and go.
Always here if you want to make a deal, Seymour.
I'm not that desperate to learn this book. Goodbye, Tenebrous.
Goodbye, Seymour.
And then he's gone.
Well done, dating 101 for Seymour.
Did it.
Yeah, iconic. Also, we've just decided.
Great.
Oh.
I mean, Tenebrous has to have been the guy who wrote the Alchemist review that we talk about all the time on the podcast.
I
It was
mean, you come up
Tenebrous.
with that grandiose a word.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He's got a vocabulary.
Good reference, good reference.
No.
If you ever ask him, he's always going to be reading something large and pretentious.
That's what I thought. But now we have reason to know that bad stuff. Cool. Good.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, I do love Siddhartha. That is not a pretentious book, but he will be reading other things. Anyway, getting back. So after you speak with Tenebrous, Kaya sends out another sending. Is there anything else that you all want to do today? So City's just going to keep taking you on chores. Actually, the last thing she needs, she actually can't get in town. Right. So the other thing that I need, if we're going to perform a binding, the other thing that I will need is a jewel.
Could have put it on the shopping list. Why didn't you just... Do I have to send a third one?
No, you don't have to send a third one. What I'm saying is it has to be a fine cut jewel. I know that there are not many jewelers in Scornabel. I live there, if you recall. 1,000 gold piece cut, a worthy enough cut to contain the magic, the sort of internal reflections that I need. I doubt I can get it in Scornabel. But if you all are riding out tomorrow to meet your friends, then I will figure something out. It is not something for you to worry about. I will make it work.
And I do have a friend who's loaded, so I could send them a sending spell, and maybe she just has expensive jewels lying around.
Have they got an endless supply of gold?
It's not an endless supply.
I gave you half of my total amount of money then, Kaya.
Yes, you gave, and I spent all of my money on a horse.
Why are we funding this?
Because Raina isn't here. You know what?
We need Raina.
We'll put up a tab, and then we'll make Raina pay us back when we...
I like that idea, actually.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. If you want to expend the energy and send a third sending to your friends to try to have her find a jewel, you can. You do not have to if you do not want to.
Honestly, there are other ways of getting juice. Not easy ones, but I can make something work.
To be fair, I
You
think
can send sendings too, right? If you can't find one, just send us a sending, and then we'll send one to Reyna, and then we'll figure something out.
I love a complicated chain. Yes, that will be the plan. If I cannot get a hold of one,
Kaya,
will
I
let you.
think it's about time the other party does a little bit of work to help Snipe. We've done a
I
lot
agree.
of work our
I think
end.
we should just get onto Basil, our
Excuse me.
wonderful horse.
That's time I mean,
We've done
motherfuckers. I'm
so
bitch slapping you.
so much for this.
We
Snipe,
fought a cult.
we fought
What
a
have
cult.
they been doing?
No,
They're
we
just,
didn't even
like,
fight.
chilling and
We
scoring
used
about.
our minds. We used our brains.
Of course.
Whoa.
Let
brains.
them use their money.
Are your brains somewhere in there?
Excuse me?
You know
All
that.
right, I say we. take
Mr.
Basil
digging
and-
himself into a bigger pit?
Hey, you can't see the hole I'm digging. You can't hear it or see it, so it's fine.
Plain obvious.
I love that we're good enough friends that this has just become the most passive aggressive game of Dungeons and Dragons ever.
Yep.
It's my favorite thing.
Yep.
I love it. All the NPCs, all the players, it's great. God. All right. Okay, so you all start packing up for your trip south, while City starts making what preparations she can. Back in Skirnabel.
Just by like almost a real life simulator right now.
Yeah.
Almost.
Back in Skirnabel, we are going to go back to the North Green. Ranger Monkshood, Reyna, and Snipe. You find yourselves standing in a largely empty caravan city. There are a few people wandering far away to the south that you can see. They appear to be moving farther away from you. There is a creak of wood as the wind blows through the caravan city and the crackle of the nearby campfires. There is the smell of campfire smoke and a certain electricity in the air. What do we do? I mean, he's going to find us. Either we go to him or he comes to us, either way.
Should we? Stupid
Time's up.
plan. Sit around a campfire, wait for him. Running's not a good idea. We'll have to face him tonight. Why not face him here?
Yeah. I mean, he already knows we're here, so time for him to show up, really.
Certainly. And you all sit around a campfire?
Yeah.
So not too far off the path, in a circle of 3 caravan wagons, there is a good-sized campfire still burning. There is food still propped up over the edge. Little sausages that are just cooking now. There are crates and logs, stumps that you can sit on. And you just sort of arrange yourself around the fire. What is going on in Snipe's head right now?
Snipe's just thinking through everything, all the options they've been given. They're being careful not to fully remember the details of what Kaya's message was, or the options that they gave. They're just saying it as, they're thinking it as the other option, but they're not thinking that out fully.
Gotcha.
So they're just going through their mind, just like thinking how they're going to talk through whatever Artaxis' deals are and what the options are probably going to be if they're accepted or denied.
So you're trying to keep your mind away from the new body option so that it's not at the forefront of your mind.
Yeah.
Raina, what's going on in your mind as you sit at the campfire?
Reina's very scatterminded right now. She's going back and forth between what happens at the barracks, between what we discussed, between the person that is Artaxis, what Ranger Monks had told her, everything that's been going on. It's just jumping between thoughts.
Okay. And you see that Ranger Monkshood, she simply takes some shafts out of her quiver, and she just begins to fletch them and just sort of focuses on that as you all sit there. After a few minutes, you see people. At first it's 1 or 2, and then it's 5, 10, 20. Different ages, different walks of life, different clothes, different cultures. They just stand in between the wagons on the edges of the firelight. And then from the road, you hear the firm steps, the confident stride of riding boots. And Artaxis appears out of the darkness. And he sits down across from you at the campfire. And he says, "Well, isn't this quaint? Look at this. You got a campfire going. Everything's so pleasant, so simple, traveling on the road like this. Little caravan wagons. All these people just going from point A to point B. You never really know where they're coming from or where they're going. The smell of a campfire. Cooking food over the open flame." And he just picks up one of the sticks and he just tests the sausage, and then he just starts eating it, chewing it.
Face, isn't it?
It really is. And of course, he's still dressed in his immaculate traveling clothes. Sometimes it's important to remember the little people, So, I see that you have managed to find my friend Ranger Monkshood out and about.
Yeah. Spotted her, thought we would catch up on what happened.
Well,
Last we
that's
seen her
awfully
in the
nice of you.
forest.
Right, that's right. You all met in the forest. I didn't have the pleasure at the time to introduce myself. I believe that your little friend Hattie accused me of not being forward enough. Where is she, by the way? Is she not with you?
She went to check on a bit of other business we had.
And a chicken.
Ah. Yes. I heard about that terrible business with the healers at the cloister of the tier. That's all terrible, isn't it? Just awful.
More confusing, actually.
Well, it can be both, can't it?
True.
It's actually how I came to find that you were all up in the North Green.
Oh.
See, I wasn't really sure where you had gone. Bartender told me that Ranger Monks had left, but I just wandered around town for a bit, found a nice old lady by the name of Alice. She told me that you all had gone up to the guard barracks, and then from there they told me head up to North Green.
Locals, always helpful.
Locals are always helpful. Sometimes you don't need a scry to figure out where people are,
Have you been enjoying your stories, or?
I have been, You all make an interesting crew of people. Wouldn't have thought that
folks like you would have traveled together.
Neither would I.
You're
But here we are.
goodbye. And here you are. You have a bard who looks down on faith and religion, traveling with a cleric who can't decide what god she wants to follow. You have this warlock who seems indebted to some sort of fiendish patron. And he's hanging out with a rogue who had their soul bonded to a demon. And then on top of it all, you have your little monk friend who just wants to know everything about everybody. Do you ever wonder if she just travels with you so that she can get your story? Do you ever wonder if she cares? Or if she's just after more knowledge for her grand library?
If she doesn't care, I care. That's enough.
Oh, that's awful thoughtful of you, isn't it? Hopefully that doesn't stab you in the back. Speaking of which, have you decided if you're going to go along with my proposal or not?
Remind me of the proposal.
Well, it's very simple. I would like the other half of you, as you well know, and I want you to help me get it. You see, I think that I could bargain for it if I had the right leverage. I could talk to Baphomet, get the other half of you out of the endless mazes. Scot-free, no consequence. I just need a little bit of leverage. And I need you to take care of a lovely no-go problem for me. If you do that, I get the hands on the other half of you. And maybe somewhere in the process, you can sneak the upper hand on me. Isn't that a tempting offer? Get one over on the big powerful demon who thinks he's above everybody. Isn't that a tempting offer?
It's not really fun playing a game when you know you're going to lose. And by the same token, I don't really think a game is fun when you know you're going to win. So what exactly are you getting out of this? Especially asking me to do this for you.
Why does a cat play with a mouse before it eats it?
Instinct.
Then let's call it my instinct.
I wonder if you know.
Know what?
I don't really recall this person who made this contract in the first place with me. But I would assume they would have told you all of the, well, terms and conditions that come with me.
I know a few. A lot of them they've forbeared on for the sake of sending you away, at least for a bit. They did tell me one thing. They told me what I ought to do if you get too out of hand. I'd hate to resort to it though.
What else did he tell you about me? Did he tell you what I could do?
He told me that you're capable of a lot, but your human half holds you back.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because
your human half doesn't want to see people get hurt. But here's the thing. I don't care if people get hurt.
I think you might care if people get hurt. Especially if the land is also destroyed, as well as any land that you so want to rule or any skies you want to claim. Restrictions are there to keep you back and to hold back too much chaos. That's the whole reason why demons are made in such a way. They have to have some limitations. Otherwise, the entire universe would just be an inky mess of chaos.
What do you think my goal is, Snape?
I don't know. To reach some kind of infinite power? So you can have just a bit of fun every now and again?
Infinite power's boring. As you said to me, if you know you're gonna win, the game's not fun. You know what's curious about you, Snape? You've been bandying around this world for 10 years. You've picked up a thing here or there, thwarted a cult or two, as far as I can tell. But you never really learned about the heart of this world. It's too bad.
It's not my world to really learn the heart of.
Your friend told me one other thing to tell you. He said to tell you that rivers run deep. I don't know what he meant by that, but he said that you might consider it. Now, I don't have all night to be sitting out here around the campfire with you, so a yes or no will suffice. Will you be with me? Will you go on your own way?
So, I help you, you get the other half of the demon, and then what? I'm just left on my own?
Maybe we can find a position for you, if you're interested. I hear that you used to be a hand for hire. If you'd be interested in getting back into that line of work.
I think that's going to be very useful considering I've only got, I don't know, a few days left to live.
I could help you with that.
How?
The power of a demon kept you alive once before, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I could keep you alive. Lord knows I've been keeping our taxes alive for years.
So what happened if I said no? I'm guessing you'd just go about your own way of figuring out something else.
I would. I would get up from this campfire. Me and Ranger monks who'd over there would go on our merry way. Like I said, I don't need you to do this. I can send her in your place. She'd be just as effective, I suspect, although she wouldn't have a team to back her up. But it involves the forest. She knows how to handle herself in that sort of environment. Don't you, Ranger monks would? Ranger Monkshood is just continuing to fletch arrows.
Okay. I would take the deal, but from what I've been told, maybe in infernal ways, but in demon ways you don't necessarily keep full contracts. Things just happen on their own.
The only difference between a demon and a devil is that a devil pretends that they're more honest.
What do you think of this, Raina?
Be completely honest. I would not take the offer. It sounds promising, sounds interesting. But you always get the short end of the deal.
I think you're right. The only benefit really is that if I did take the deal, it would somehow give me an upper hand at least once. That will probably fail, because you've already predicted that that's going to be something that's going to occur. But maybe it would be an exchange of surveillance. You keep an eye on me, and somehow I'm able to know where you are. And what you're planning to do exactly. That would make the game slightly fairer.
Would you trade that one positive note against all the negatives that come with it?
Humans are slaves to cognitive dissonance, so maybe.
Our taxes, if I might ask. What are all these people doing around us?
These people. They're just here in case you try anything. They're not going to hurt you.
That's fair.
So, I'll ask you for the third time. Is it a yes or a no, Snipe?
Hang on.
You're all 50-50? Let's go, Warlock! Yes! Come on, baby!
I lost my d4.
No!
Where'd it go? Hang on.
Are you gonna
You will never know.
Wait, are you going to tell us what numbers you're doing? Which one is which?
It's a d4 odds or evens.
Learning off Seymour. Let's go, dude.
I kind of linger a bit for a little bit, and then I just pick up a stick from the side of the campfire that's not lit, and just like poke the fire a bit to keep like it stirring. And then so I've not looked up the majority of the time. They've been staring at their own feet. But then they just kind of glance at Raina and then Monkshood, and then they look at Artaxis and just say, "All right, I'll do it."
Well then, hand me the cloak pin.
I reach back in my pockets to find it.
Right.
Do I find it?
Yeah, it's on you.
See, isn't
I
life
handed it
more
over.
fun when you do the roll to decide?
I hand it back.
He'll take it. And he'll take a knife from his belt, and he'll just cut the palm of his hand, and then he'll squeeze it with the medallion. And then he puts his hand in the fire, and you see that around his hand, the fire turns a purplish black. And then he hands it back across the fire to you,
I take it, and then I pass it to Rena. And I just say, no point who's on it, you're going to find me anyway.
Okay. And I will pin it on my shirt.
Yeah. Rena, you feel the healthiest you've ever felt. No, you dipshit. If you want to stay alive, you gotta pin the cloak pinned to you.
I'll keep it on me for a bit. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, suit yourself. If you want to pass away, pass away. Now, as for what I need you to do, I need you all to go into Reaching Wood and deal with the raiders there. The easiest way to find them is to follow the trails of destruction. If you go north of Scarnabel, there's a lot of farmsteads that have been destroyed. You can follow the paths back into the forest. They have an idol there, a little golden hyena. Destroy it and break your no goose hold. Then, when you're done with that, come back to Scarnabel. I'm not going to be here. I have other matters to attend to. But I'll be sure to leave Ranger Monkshood here. And she'll have some instructions for you when you get back. Same place. Nightshade, Bloody Oak, Ranger Monkshood. It looks like your time with me is drawing to a close. Thank you for your service so far. I trust you'll be able to stick with me for about a month or more. All right. And he just gets up and he says, a pleasure doing business. I'm excited to see where this goes.
Same here.
And he'll turn and walk away. And after he's faded away into the darkness, the people around you sort of sway a little as if they're waking up from a dream. And then finding themselves, for the most part, far away from their campsites, they kind of just mutter a little to each other and then take back to the road and just start walking off in different directions. And you find the three of you sitting at this little campfire. And Monkshood puts away her arrow fletchings. And she says, if you need me, I'm going to go back to my room. We were also staying at the Bloody Oak, so you can find me there. And she'll just get up and walk off into the night.
Well then. You okay, Rena?
It's been a lot.
Didn't matter what I was going to say.
I feel like it might have made difference, but decision has been made. Deal has been made. See what happens next.
And with that, the camera pulls away from the two figures left sitting at the campfire, handing over Skirnabel, and we end our session for the week.
GG. That's
Oh
good.
boy.
I love
I
love how Rain is now in the deal somehow because they've got the gift. Thanks.
Yeah. Well,
Snipes not
Did
made
you
a decision
realize-
yet and just waiting for a second.
The
Snake
thing-
needs more to think.
The thing that you're like, I want to be able to live. Thank you. Here you go.
there you go.
Well, last
The-
time it was a tracking device, so
Yeah, but it's gonna restore Snipes HP.
yeah,
Who
of course.
cares about
But
the
we
tracking
Yeah, but it's
we
wicked
can
this, idiots. You think it's going to be as simple as that?
Yeah, but he can find you no matter what.
Yeah.
So just take
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, but
It's
like,
not attractive.
There's a reasoning behind it. We'll argue this off screen.
Oh
Yeah,
no, I agree.
for the time being, Reina, the pin does nothing for you.
yeah,
But
of course.
Mhm.
I just have it on me. That's
Good.
Yeah.
Yo, Soph, I'm proud of you. Let's.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, this is way more interesting. In my opinion.
well. Yeah.
Deal with the devil, dude. Let's fuck up you and argue.
It's not a devil, it's a demon. Oh, well.
Demon. Devils and
Excellent.
demons. That's what we're doing, dudes.
No.
I think, guys, we may be on the verge of everybody coming back together. I don't want to say it too
Whoa.
soon.
Don't jinx it.
Well, you
Don't
ruined it
jinx
now.
it at this point.
We're in now.
Whoa.
But Janks, what if I want to read some more books and have a conversation with some NPCs?
Yeah, library.
I
do
mean,
it, do
you
it.
can do that.
Okay.
The world is
But
We
yours.
don't
Chicken,
stop
man.
you.
Can I spend the next session reading books?
Uh,
I want to do
Sure.
a month worth of book reading. Is that okay?
We will not stop you
sense
because
the
we've done the
sarcasm.
same.
yeah, we'll pan back to Seymour every 5 minutes to see him flip a page. We'll do that.
Yeah, he's struggling.
You gotta-
I'm going back to the page because he's reading Elvish and he's not that good.
And you've actually just like glanced over the page and you took none of it in, so you have to go back to the top again. I expect detailed notes every time we go back to you every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Exactly, like his thoughts.
Yep.
This says forcing Dave into the book club.
Yeah.
Next time, you have to read Zadata, and then you have to like go back and you have to tell us your thoughts every 5
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah.
I've got homework.
Data
Yeah.
on screen.
Yes. You
Yeah.
have
Well,
homework.
Finally.
I haven't had.
Because you said
We
you
had
read a book for a
detention.
month.
You're getting homework.
I haven't had homework. You had a month of detention, you lot.
Yeah, we had detention. The
Yeah,
last
but
session was our
but
detention.
I had a month of torture.
Hey, thank
shit,
you everybody
y'all.
out there for coming to watch The Road to Elturel. Please join us next Saturday as we continue our lovely story. Tune in tomorrow for the Crimson Petal, the awesome game that Dave runs here on the channel on Sundays. Throughout the week on Wednesdays, you can check out I Roll Therefore I Am, the podcast where all the shit that happens here on the weekends gets broken down by these lovely players.
Apparently, they spoke about old phones last podcast.
That was like
Yes,
the last
there was
30
something
minutes
about
of
old
the
phones.
podcast.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, we counted as
but-
one of the most orderly podcasts we had had thus far.
Yeah.
All right.
It's great. It's a great
awesome.
listen. If you're just like chilling out and you're like, I just need something to listen to and see where it goes.
The mad
I rolled
ramblings
Therefore I
of
Am.
three,
It's
of
The
four
thing
people.
is, you can guarantee that if you kind of zone out, if you're focusing on something else, no matter, it could just be 5 seconds that you zone out for, but the minute you come back, you will have no idea how we got from this last
Yep.
subject we were talking about to the subject that you're now listening.
You could listen to the whole thing and still not know how we
Yeah,
got
you
there.
gain no
Okay.
information. It's
And
just a
that's the
good
elevator pitch
non-learning
right there.
podcast.
That's how we promote ourselves.
Do you want to spend just like a few hours in?
Do you want some static white noise in the background of whatever activity you're doing? Come
Check it out
listen
on
to the
Wednesdays.
podcast.
But thank you all for joining us. Have a good night, everyone, and until next time, adventure on.
We're going back next week. Let's go. We're reuniting. Oh shit.